Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video is composed of things that I tinkered with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. This video should contain tips and tricks of things that I've learned throughout the year. Now, I only plan on leaving this video posted for about 30 days. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching. Back in the saddle, they let me out of the the hospital yesterday. Yes, I had to come out and see what's available at the junkyard. I am currently taking my heart medication, diltiazem, something like that. It's supposed to help regulate blood pressure and heart rate. I appreciate all the get well soons and be careful Robert and all that stuff. Appreciate the love and care. That's incredible. It's a little cloudy out today. Days I like, if it was 10 degrees warmer, it'd be perfect. Coming out to check, see what they've placed out here, since I haven't been out here for about a week, I guess. I was going to come out last Friday. Didn't make it. I was getting my heart put back in check. Over the past few days, had a couple more episodes of people contacting me about their timing belt jumping time and coming off and loose and all that stuff on their Volvos. If it's a white block Volvo or a 16 valve red block and that timing belt comes off while the engine's running, or you try to start it with the belt off or loose, it's going to destroy the head. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. No magic wands. Nothing I could do to wave my hand over it, make it go away. It is what it is. If you need a head, I have a couple. If you don't, I guess maybe you could sell it. The value of a car with a destroyed engine that's 16 years old is somewhere between $150 and $500. I doubt you can get anything more than $500 for a car with a destroyed head. I don't know what to tell you. Called the VA, was on hold for 20 minutes. They came on, they're going to schedule my follow-up appointment so I can continue to get checked out. Now, I am going to need to monitor my heart rate, make sure this medication is doing what it needs to do. So I'm going to order my Fitbit today. I need a charge too, because those are the ones that monitor your pulse, and that's what's important. Make sure this medication is doing what it's supposed to do. It's the best I could do to monitor it. I don't have no other way of checking the pulse, my pulse, and that is what was out of whack when I went to the hospital. So I'm going to get that ordered today. Kind of funny thing is, that's what me and my wife purchased for my daughter for Christmas. So she has one, she's excited about it, loves it, enjoys it. So hopefully I'll have one within the next couple of days to help monitor everything I got going on. As I said, I'm out here checking what's going on at the junkyard. This is the intake manifold I pulled for Buster Brown so he could get that hose out of there. This, I think, is a good engine, and the shop probably needs this engine. So I'm going to tell him it's out here. May help him get it. Not today or tomorrow. So we'll see what's going on. Let me go see what else is new and available out here. Buster Brown called me yesterday. He said there was another 960 out here I could pull a throttle plate off of. And there should be a S80 out here somewhere. Let me go up these 2 rows, see what's going on, see what I get into. Then I got to run a couple errands, stop by the shop, see if I could finish stripping down the Ghost today, since I didn't finish Thursday or Friday. And hopefully call it a short day. Get back to the house. Finally got this S80 out here. Somebody needs the fogs, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull those 2 fogs, take them with me. Something behind this dash must have been important, because boy, they sure hit that like a hand grenade. Had that manual shift in there. Woohoo! Looks like all I need is to get these 3 or 4 T25s out from the fog light bracket, unplug them, and they should come out. So the first thing I'm going to do is unplug this, and then I'm going to take these 3 visual T25s out and see if they fall out from there. That's it. 3 screws for each one. Make sure none of the mounts are broken, the connections are broken, and the lens are not cracked. This one had that anti-shatter rubber coating on the lenses to prevent them from breaking. Probably the only reason why these are still intact. Got any questions? Go ahead and post it. Oh my gosh, who painted a 960 this color? Please don't do that. Talking about yuck. Wonder if this was plastic dip, and it looks like real paint painted over everything, even the lights a little bit. Had one of them little miniature tail fins on it, but somebody chipped this corner of it. I don't know if it's worth anything to anybody, but I'll take it and set it aside in case somebody wants it. Look like it's supposed to have clips in there, and they're not up there, so who knows. Let me get the throttle plate off of this thing and get out of here. It's a 95 model. Steering wheel would be nice if that was a little nicer, but it's not. Seats are destroyed, shifter destroyed. It's a little rough, but hey, I've seen worse. Let me go ahead and get this plate out of here. C70 showed up down here. Man, this thing was hit from all sides. Looks like it is a T5. It has the blue injectors. They only put those in the T5, so this thing hopefully has a good engine in it. I'm not going to check the mileage. I want to share with somebody that needs one of these engines that is here. But man, this thing took a couple of good hits. I imagine the airbag blew. Yep. Does have a partial speaker grill there. That's probably not good that the speaker grill's messed up. So I'm not going after nothing on it. You guys come have at it. Even the roof is buckled. Man, must have run up under something. Get a picture of the VIN. Maybe somebody can find some information out about the mileage on it from the VIN. I'm going to take this cushion off this steering wheel, see what kind of shape that steering wheel's in. Steering wheel looks like it's in relatively good shape. None of it's peeling. I'm sure it's one of those leather steering wheels. It's a C70. So somebody may have me pull that for them. Let me check a couple other things. It's got the big audio system power amp back here. That's nice, but it does not have the CD changer. Looks like that plug is open for the CD changer. Well, that's enough for me of the junkyard today. I'm out. Run a couple errands, head by the shop, and take care of that. I guess I'm going to get an ETA from this paint shop. It's taking them a long time to paint a car single stage, so stop by there, stop by the machine shop for the tools, stop by Harbor Freight, then get my tail over to the shop. The guy with that C70 said that thing is still leaking coolant, so it must be either one of the heater hoses or the heater hose connection. It's hard when you can't feel nothing wet or see nothing coming out. So he's driving around losing coolant. I told him coolant roulette's not a good game, and somebody with a shop and a pressurizing pump could find that leak better. I want to give a special shout out to my good friend Sebastian in the Chicago area. My daughter spent the weekend in Chicago with a friend, and something happened where her dome lights did not cut off on her S70 Little Red. Light was on all night. It's 9 degrees. It's 2 degrees. Well, when she got to the car in the morning to try to leave, the car would not start and the battery was totally dead. That was about 6:50 in the morning. A couple minutes went by. She called roadside assistance through State Farm, Of course, State Farm, they don't have roadside assistance, so they use local tow truck company contractors. They contacted the contractor. 15 minutes later, the guy said he was on his way at 6:18. I'm sorry, about 7:18. 8:18 goes by. 9:18 goes by. In excess of 2 hours goes by. My daughter calls me. I call Sebastian. He's over there within a half hour to help give her a jump. Great shout out to Sebastian. And then the tow truck driver shows up about 5 minutes after Sebastian does. It's like, does it really take you guys 2 hours and 40 minutes for roadside assistance? Do you not care that somebody is out there for over 2 hours waiting for a 5-minute jump? Are you such a poor service person that you don't care that people gotta drive 4 or 5 hours to get home, that you want to lollygag around for more than 2.5 hours when you told them you were on your way at 7:15, 7:18, and you're still not there? Almost 10 o'clock? Wow. How considerate of you. Just got off the phone with State Farm about their poor roadside assistance network, and recommended that they remove that tow company from the network. She was given a 60-minute ETA, urged to wait outside in 7-degree weather for them to show up, and they show up in excess of 2 hours and 45 minutes. Totally uncalled for. So we'll see what happens and go from there. Look like Queen Bee may be ready, even though I have not received a phone call. Let's take a look, see how the paint looks. Man, it looks a whole lot better this time than last. Little bit of overspray there, that's not the end of the world. That looks a whole lot better. Man, this car might actually be ready to be picked up this time. That looks a little rough there. Not sure what that's all about. I'll ask him. That's some paint stuff there. Got a little paint run there. Got that smoothed out better. A little bit of paint run there. That ain't the end of the world. Looks a whole lot better than it did last time. So I would consider, I guess, this acceptable. See if they got some last minute cleanup they need to do before I take it away from here. Let me go check with them. Queen Bee looks a lot better. 2 or 3 minor blemishes. I'm not going to choke over that. Of course, the first time it was a disaster. So I'm probably going to pick it up in the morning. A couple of spots on there, they said it'd probably be best to wait until the paint cures in about 3 weeks and then get that stuff buffed out, smoothed out. But if they tried to mess with it now, it'd be a disaster. So we'll come get Queen Bee first thing tomorrow. Again, my take on that paint stuff is somebody that's running a paint shop, been doing body work and paint for several years, they can see a bad paint job from across the street. They don't need me to come up here and say, hey, this ain't good enough. Something they got to quality control themselves. They said they repainted the whole vehicle, which, yeah, I kind of feel sad for him a little bit, but heck, you know, if you don't do the job right the first time, do it again, you know. So hopefully that'll be behind us. I can start putting that car together and find a wonderful new owner for it. Got some more of these rear cam seal insertion tools made. They look perfect. I'm going to go test one out, make sure they're good to go. Heck, I might even check with that laser engraving company if they ever engrave something for me. See if they can engrave these things at a reasonable price. Make sure these things are good and ship them out probably later today or tomorrow. Went and got something to eat. I mean, you can't beat this. Takeout, $4.05. Healthier food than you get at these fast food joints. I usually get the grilled chicken, but I didn't see none out. But man, that's not bad for $4.05. One thing I wanted to talk to you guys about flywheels is that you have to make sure that the flywheel that you have and are going to use matches the flywheel that you're taking off your vehicle. See, this part of the flywheel, the starter connects to and spins it to crank it. This part is what the crank sensor reads the electrical impulses, magnetic impulses to, and lets the car know that the car is in time and that you don't have a busted timing belt or something. If these teeth don't match, the car will not start. So if you look around on the flywheel, you're going to find a spot like right there where it's missing 2 teeth. That's going to be the same on the flywheel that matches your vehicle. So you have that pin there that aligns it, and that blank spot needs to be in the same position. So you could lay them on top of each other, make sure all the holes and the guide pin matches, and then make sure that you have that vacant 2 teeth on the flywheel that you're pulling off, and that this matches this one that you're putting on, or that stuff's not going to work. So to make sure that this flywheel will work on my car, I can make sure the alignment or the pin is at 12 o'clock, and then I'll have that couple teeth missing somewhere around, as a clock goes, the 42 and the 43 minute mark. That's where I'll have my missing teeth. Next thing I'm doing to the Ghost is getting the couple things out of the dash that people have purchased, so I can ship that off today. And then I'm going to shim the hinges, pull the hinges off, and then I'm going to finish taking the rest of the manual transmission parts off. Don't know if I'll get to everything today. Have the dash pad removed. It doesn't seem like, yeah, I think this one mount on this right side may be damaged. I got the cluster removed. I'm getting ready to remove this lower panel, get the blower motor and resistor out of there for somebody. Then I'm going to get those controls out there. I'm going to show you where the resistor is on the MCC system. You know it's MCC because you have numbers for your fan and you don't have temperatures on your dials. So you pull the glove box out, you look down in here, you probably have to pull a knee bolster out, and there you have it. It is right there. It has one T15 screw in it. You pull that screw out, then you pull your resistor out. And this is what your resistor looks like. A lot of times when they're bad, you look at them, they'll have a broken wire on the resistor. This one is coated with that green stuff. As you can see, it does have cracks in it, but this one still works to my knowledge. If you have a broken wire in there, it'll stop working. I have the fan out. It's got a 294 date on it. I got the resistor out. It looks original. And next, I'm going to take the MCC out. It's an MCC because it doesn't have any numbers to indicate the temperature. And it has numbers on the fan speed. The ECC doesn't have fan speed numbers, but it does have temperature numbers. I'm going to show you how to remove the MCC control panel on a Volvo 850. First thing you do is carefully remove each knob, nice and slow. Don't wiggle them too much because they break inside the knobs. Next thing I do is remove these two Phillips screws. Next, you try to pry out the faceplate. I'm using a bone tool to minimize damage. Looks like I'm gonna have to use two hands. Can't get it with one. Be careful getting this faceplate out. The switch is stuck to it, so unplug that. Then unplug those two, and you'll have the control panel stuff in your hand. So unplug these three plugs. Now that the faceplate's off and unplugged, I got a Phillips there and a Phillips there. I need to undo those and work the unit back and out, and then unhook the mechanical arms. Now the unit is loose, but you got mechanical arms connected to it and stuff like that. I can't seem to get it out of here, but let me see if I can manipulate this so you can see more about what's going on behind it. Hold on a second, let me try it with two hands. Really hard to get access to this. You got that cable right there. Got a couple of maybe cables or vacuum lines there. Well, that's cable there. You got cables on the other side. The rest of that is mechanical, so I can't see where pulling that out would do you any good. It's common for one of these two switches to go bad, so you could replace that switch pack, and it may be even common for this fan switch to go bad. So I doubt you'll ever have to fool with that. You normally have to do with replacing these switches on here. Also, you may be able to see what's going on with that stuff from back this way through the glove box. You could probably turn the knobs, see if you can see anything going on with the arms that move and control the things that's hooked with cables back there. But it's a mechanical system. So if I turn one of these, you can see that wiggling. That's the right temperature knob. There's a left temperature knob, and then there's a knob in the middle that controls the direction divert. I wanted to show you the recycle motor. That controls whether or not you get fresh air or recycled air. That motor turns, and it has a pin, as you can see there, that hooks through this arm. Sometimes this arm breaks and it falls off of that pin, and as you can see, me moving this arm back and forth is changing from fresh air to recycled air, and this one is not hooked up properly, or it is broken. Let me look at it, see if it's broken, because it's not hooked up to the motor. Okay, I pulled the arm control off. I don't know if this one is stripped or not. It does look a little different. Somebody tried to glue it. It has a slot in there that you reach back there and hook it onto when you replace those things. So pulling that back and forth controls whether you have fresh air or recycled air. That's probably recycled. That's probably, actually, this is probably fresh. That's probably recycled. At any rate, you can tell by looking outside. So, I don't know. Open up the hood, look down where the cabin air filter goes, figure out which one's fresh, recycled. But if this arm is broken or damaged, and you hear clicking in that motor, that's probably why it's not working right. Now, I don't know if you could unscrew that motor. You got a screw here, and you got a screw somewhere else on it. The whole bracket has a screw here, a screw back there, and a screw up here somewhere. So it's near impossible to change that motor, but it is possible. I would start out by taking this bracket off, this support for the glove box. Take this off, then you might be able to get that motor out of there if you need to replace that motor. Next step in getting these cables out of here is pull this carpet out. This thing here has a release in it under there somewhere. You release that, and push it up or down. I got a separate video for that. Let me get that out of there, pull this carpet back so I can access the shifter cables. Now that the carpet's out of the way, you can see those two nuts there. I believe they're 12 millimeter. I'm gonna go ahead and remove those and then manipulate the cables out from under the center console and from inside the firewall. I got those two screws removed. They're 10 millimeter. Now I'm gonna get something to pry this out with. Little pry bar, or pry them out with your hands. You gotta get that off of those screw studs. Let me use both hands to get that off. Alright, I pulled that in. Now I'm going to pull the cables through from this side and pull the cables from outside into here so that I can have my cables totally removed. I pulled them out from the console one at a time. Now I'm going to pull them in through the firewall, and then I'm going to bag those two nuts, keep them with me, and I'm going to put these clips back on the cables so I don't lose them. And there are my shifter cables. I got the two clips there. I'm going to tape my hardware inside there, and I got the two clips on that end. It'd also be a good idea to grab those bolts that you pull to get the center shifter assembly out and keep that stuff with the center shifter assembly. The plugs in there, so I'm going to roll this transmission over, see if I see an ID plate on there to see what model, if it's the H or the L. The ID plate is supposed to be on the bottom, but I don't see it. It's gone. Yep. It does not have an ID tag on it anywhere.
This is rebuilt.
So, it is what it is.
Is it this one too?
If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.